Yo, what's up everybody? Crazy Out Kane here with the top 8 bikes that were featured on Bike of the Month in February 2024 on sugarcane.com. It's been a minute since I did Bike of the Day, and 2 months have gone by, and now it's time for Bike of the Month for February 2024. And these are the top 8 bikes that were featured on Bike of the Month in February. As a matter of fact, there were only 8 bikes that were featured and submitted for Bike of the Day. So that's all we got. So we're going to get into it right now with bike number 8. And that bike is a 1996 fully restored Morales Flatland bike. This bike was submitted by Joshua, and he did a fantastic job on getting this bike built up and put together. It actually was a long process for him because back in the day, he couldn't afford this bike. He lived in Singapore, and it was hard to get bikes back then without the internet and getting things delivered and stuff. So fast forward to present day, and Josh was able to get this bike built up. He got a bunch of custom things done on this bike, like the headset, which is actually a 1-inch headset, but he got it upgraded to a 1 1/8 headset. Also, the branding on the frame, the Morales and everything else that's printed on the frame, is not stickers, it's actually stenciled in and painted onto the bike, so it's part of the paint job. So with that being said, let's check out the part list, son. Alright, so we got a fully restored Morales Flatland frame with a 1-inch to 1 1/8 conversion cup using threadless core Flatland forks. He's got the Graveyard OG bars, Odyssey title grips, Graveyard Love Goat stem, Impurity GST gyro, FSA integrated headset, Demolition bar ends, Diacom Tech 77 lever, the classic Primo Pervert cable converter, Impurity lower gyro cable, Diacom 990 AD front and rear brakes, KHE prismatic seat post, GT seat with the front nose cut off. He's got a seat clamp that's made with a modded shim to fit a 25.4 seat post, core Flatland pegs, Nankai Techno free coaster on the rear, and Suzy Sealtech hub on the front. He's got proper aluminum nuts on the front and rear, Peregrine Super Pro rims. What? Peregrine rims? Man, I always wanted some Peregrine rims back in the day. Stainless steel spokes, 1.85 Maxxis grip to tires, Schwabel inner tubes, 160mm profile cranks with a titanium spindle, 31 tooth Graveyard sprocket, American bottom bracket, KHE stimulator pedals, and the KMC chain. Yo, big shout out to Josh for submitting this bike. I always like when I see some fresh Flatland bikes submitted to Bike of the Day, so definitely send them in so we can showcase them on the site. Coming in 7th place, we got a 2023 Cyclecraft Elite XL. This bike was submitted by Doug Smith. The legendary Cyclecraft brand is still doing it, making things happen. I saw a bunch of them at the Jack Frost race out in Egg Harbor, and the blue one looks real nice in person. I seen the blue one in person and it looked real fresh, and this one is pretty fresh too. Doug said he returned to racing near the end of 2023. He said Cyclecraft was his favorite brand and he always dreamt of racing one. So let's check out the parts list and see what Doug got cooking on this frame. Okay, he's got the Mongoose Title Pro handlebars on there, Cult Vans grips, Tangent top load stem, Box 2 headset, Answer Dagger forks with some DIY Fred Z fork decals, profile pivotal seat, Kruppy seat post, Sin seat post clamp, Box 4 cranks, Box 2 bottom bracket, Odyssey pedals. He's got an MCS Pro disc wheel set, which includes the MCS Pro hub in the front, and in the rear he's got a Pro disc cassette. The hubs are laced into some Sun Envy rims, and he's rocking an MCS 16 tooth cog. He's rolling on Tioga power blocks. He's got a 1.9 on the front and a 1.75 on the rear. Box 2 brake lever, MCS cable, Box 2 disc caliper, 11 120mm disc, and 11 caliper mountain bracket. This bike got a total rating score of a 7.44, which brought it up to 7th place. Coming in 6th place is a 2023 Dark Horse Works DH2. It was submitted by Justin Simpson, who did an amazing job on this build. Actually, Justin is the owner of the Dark Horse brand, and he does all his own welding, which is amazing. And this bike looks amazing. I love the way this thing came out. Got the black OS20 rims and tires on there. It's got the dark red colorway. All the rest of the parts are pretty much black with the exception of the cranks, which have that polished shine to them. Also has a gold chain on there, which gives it a nice contrast with the looks. Yeah, the attention to detail on this bike is real fresh. Justin said this was the second frame he ever built and finished up with super clean metallic candy red paint. also did the paintwork himself. He said he got into frame building in late 2022 as a way to better understand what makes a bike work. Well, now that you know the inspiration for this build, let's check out those parts, son. Once again, this is a Dark Horse Frameworks DH2 OS20 frame. The bike features a hand-polished stainless head tube badge. He's got some OS20 E6 silencer rims. He's got a Kingdom Component OS20 carbon fork, which is painted to match the frame. Profile AC2 hubs, hand-polished Shimano DXR cranks, Yoshimura flat pedals. He's got a 31.8 box stem, which has a 48mm reach, tangent flat iron 8 bars, and a Wolf Tooth ISEC headset. Total overall rating on this bike is an 8.02, which got him in the 6th place with this bike. And big shout out to Justin Simpson on his new endeavor with making BMX frames and getting creative with it and making some really cool products. Coming in 5th place, we got another flatland bike. This is big. 2 flatland bikes in 1 month. That's big for us. But we got a flatland bike right now in 5th place. It's a 2011 Aries Garuda submitted by Waki NG. I actually saw this on Waki's Instagram page, and I was like, yo, I gotta feature this one, send it in, submit it, because this joint was fire. So everybody who's on Instagram posting these fly bikes, I need y'all to come back to sugarcane.com and submit some of these joints so we can get them featured on the site, because I love featuring them on the site. I know it's not as many people as Instagram following the site and checking it out, but this is definitely something special. It's a cool way to showcase your bikes in the YouTube space and also for the wider internet community. You know, when I post it on sugarcane.com and get some visitors who might not be on Instagram or on Facebook that might check it out. The first thing that stuck out to me was that blue and white colorway. Of course, what takes these builds over the top every time for me is when they have colored wall tires on. So he has the white wall tires on the bike, which accentuate everything else on the bike, which makes it look real fresh. So definitely a cool usage of color placement on the bike. Waki said that this is his 2011 Aries Garuda from Japan with this unique frame designs and super lightweight. It's one of his favorite flatland frames. He hopes that we like it too. So that's what's up. Big shout out to Waki for submitting this bike. And of course, if you like this frame, you can come back to sugarcane.com and give it a rating, because we have the Bike of the Year competition going on where I'll be giving out prizes and medals to the top Bike of the Year. So definitely keep that in mind. All right, now that we know the inspiration for this build, let's check out those parts, son. All right, so the handlebars are Jungle Rider MK bars. He's got KHE Tanaka forks on there, Brick House stem, Odyssey headset, Merit grips, IGI bar ends, Eastern seat post, We the People seat, We the People seat clamp, Odyssey bottom brackets, Resist cranks, E-clat pedals, E-clat E440 rims. He's got an Odyssey clutch V2 coaster on the rear, and his front hub is an Odyssey C5, and his pegs are MOC. The total overall rating score on this bike is an 8.03. You guys can come back anytime to the site and put your ratings in and join the site. Actually, if you join the site and you rate the bikes, then you also get points as a member on sugarcane.com. Big shout out to Waki for submitting this bike. It's a really dope build, and hope to see some more from you this year. Coming in at number 4, we have a 1999 Huffy Primus, one of Huffy's high-end BMX racing bikes from back of the day when they were sponsoring professional BMX racers and all that good stuff. That's right, Huffy was in the game doing it big for BMX racing, and they're back now, but we're still waiting to see the new frames, the new stuff, the new high-end professional Huffy stuff. But let's rewind the tape back to 1999. We got the Huffy Primus in red with the white decals, and he also got the red wall tires on it. I'm telling you, those red wall tires, those colored wall tires take these bike builds over the top every time. This bike was submitted by Sean Fries, who's also a member of sugarcane.com. Sean said he found a clean frame online and decided to build up a bike that he loved to ride both back in the day as well as now, and that is the Huffy Primus 1999. Now that we know about the inspiration for this build, let's check out those parts, son. This bike has an Odyssey stem, Shadow Conspiracy crowbar handlebars with ODI ruffian grips, Box 1 brakes, a sealed FS8 headset, 180mm Redline Flight cranks. He's got Sun Envy rims with TNT Derringer hubs on that bad boy, SE seat post clamp, Uno seat post, a Bonta Racer seat, ANSJS pedals with seal bearings, and a Primo Pro HD fork. This bike got a total overall rating score of an 8.14, which brought it up to the 4th place position. 3rd place, we got a 2024 Rift ES20D. It was submitted by Anthony Donovan. Anthony's Rift comes in a gray and white colorway, also has some black highlights on it as well. He's got polished chain ring and a polished cranks on there, along with some black rims with some gray in it. You really can't go wrong with a gray and black colorway, especially when it's a Rift, because Rifts are really good frames, really good BMX racing frame. I like the way it came out, man. It's a nice looking bike and it's definitely ready to smash it on the track. Anthony said he built up a Rift Expert XL for his son last fall and really liked how it came out. He thought it'd be really cool to have a matching bike, so he went ahead and built this one up. So him and his son are both rocking Rifts at the track, and that's just dope, man. It's really cool when, you know, you can do a sport with your child, and not only that, but to, you know, have matching bikes and stuff like that. That's pretty cool, man. I like that. Now that we know the inspiration for that build, you already know what time it is. It's time to check out those parts, son. Once again, a Rift ES20D Pro XXL. He's got some tapered anti-dagger forks on there. Speedline Pro 31.8 stem. It's got a 48mm reach. He's got Far ST Roar 8-inch oversized handlebars. Shimano hydraulic brakes with a box 140mm rotor. E6 seat and seat post combo. Tangent seat post clamp. Shimano DXR cranks and 175mm. HT T2 SX pedals. JW 44 tooth chainring. Tangent bottom bracket. Shadow half link race chain. E6 rims with TNT Rapid Fire Pro hubs and DT Swiss competition spokes. And his tires are a IRC Siren Pro 1.90 in the front and 1.75 in the rear. I know everybody has their own opinion on what parts are good and what parts are mediocre and what parts are bad. Definitely let me know which one of these parts on these bikes that I'm talking about are your favorite parts, or a part that you want to get for your bike. Also, let me know what crank length you guys run. What crank length do you guys run? I see on this bike he has 175s. I currently moved back to 175s after like 30 something years of riding my bike. I kind of started liking 175mm cranks again. So let me know what size cranks you guys are rocking on your race bikes and what's working for you. This bike got a total rating score of an 8.21, which brought it up to 3rd place. So now we're going to find out which bike made it into 2nd place. Coming in 2nd place is a stunning Marshall Racing 2P BMX Cruiser. I just love the two-tone black and red colorway with the black in the front fading into the red. The new Marshall inherits a sublime finish without any visible welding thanks to a long polishing process. This bike was submitted by Lionel Ribieri, who owns Marshall Racing. There's a whole bunch of details about this bike and some of the other bikes in this article, so if you come back to the article, you'll find out everything you need to know about the Marshall Cruiser. So now we know a little bit more about that build, let's check out those parts. So this frame is a Marshall The Punisher V2 24P. The color is a rock and roll star, and it's got that new Marshall chain tensioner by Horizontal Tension. Marshall Black Diamond carbon forks, a carbon Marshall wheel set, Legion Abrams M1 A2 stem, box handlebars, box 2 crank set, Renan chainring, Tioga seat, and Shimano XT disc brakes. That's all he gave me. That's all I got for that bike. This bike got a total rating score of an 8.33, bringing it to 2nd place in February 2024. The number 1 bike, February 2024, is a 2020 GT Speed Series Pro XL 24-inch BMX race bike sent in by Sebastian Teffenthaler from Germany. That's right, Sebastian Teffenthaler. You might have seen him. He submitted some bikes before, and this one right here got the number 1 spot for February, and it's a really, really nice build. I really like the way this came out. Did a great job on it, and the people who was watching and voting, they thought so too. So big shout out to Sebastian from Germany. We have people across the globe checking out Bike of the Day and representing and submitting bikes. So that's really, really awesome. So big shout out to Sebastian for submitting his bike. And let's get into some of these details. So first off, I love that blue and black colorway on the frame. You have that high vis yellow on the GT branding on the down tube. You also have it in the hubs, chain ring, the pedals, stem, and also on the lock-ons for the grips. I'm really liking the way this whole bike looks. I remember somebody commented about the cranks because the cranks weren't the same color blue as the frame. So that was their critique on the bike. And it's really funny because I didn't see that when I first looked at it. It wasn't like the first thing I saw. I just was like, I was just blown away by the way it looked. But yes, I have to admit, and I will agree with the hater, that if that crank was the same color blue as the frame, I think that would take it over the top. That would definitely take this bike over the top. Sebastian said he wanted to try a new paint job with the crystal effect, and he also loves the color combo of blue and neon yellow. And if you guys didn't know, Sebastian is on Instagram. He does a lot of custom builds on his Instagram page, so check him out at diafee_unique for other custom builds. He got some fresh joints on there. I hope he submits some more, because he's been submitting some real gems. So you know what time it is. It's time to check out those parts, son. All right, so we have a GT Speed Series Pro XL 24-inch. He's got the 20mm Icon tapered carbon forks. He's got an 11 headset, Azonic Predator 31.8 stem with a 60mm reach, Supercross carbon bars with a 7.5-inch rise, SQ Lab 70X grips, Magora MT7 Raceline brakes, ANSA seat and C-post combo, a box component C-post clamp, Acros bottom bracket, 180mm Behringer cranks, HT-T1 pedals, 37-tooth inside chainring, a KMC X10 chain, Onyx Helium 20mm front hub, and the Onyx Ultra Disc 10mm rear hub. He has a set of carbon 4NIX rims, and he's rolling on V Speedsters with a 1.75 on the front and rear. When you get a closer look at the details on that frame, that crystal effect looks really cool. If you look at the crank arm where the pedal comes in at, you see it's neon yellow at the end of the crank, and that's the actual crank protector that you can buy so you don't scuff up your cranks. So Sebastian's bike got an 8.26 overall rating, making it the #1 bike for February 2024 on sugarcane.com Bike of the Month series. All right, y'all, so that is it. The top 8 bikes featured on Bike of the Day in February 2024. Make sure you come back and give these bikes a rating for Bike of the Year. If you have a bike that you want to submit, come back to sugarcane.com and submit your bike. We're looking for BMX bikes of all types, whether it's street, park, race, flat, trials bike. Send some trials bike in. I'm good with that too. Also, send in those dirt jumpers. If you have a side hack, if you have a BMX side hack, definitely submit those bikes too. I want to see some more of those. All the links that you need to know about the bikes, how to submit, and all of that is in the description below. So enough talking about bikes, enough looking at bikes, enough rating bikes. I need you to go out and ride your bikes. This is Crazy Al Kane, Bike of the Month, Bike of the Day, Bike of the Year, and I'm out. Back to you, Billy.